This video is for my server members, so if you're not in my server, don't even think about watching it. Grrr. Okay, so you're going to want to go into Pokemon Showdown. I have the link in the description of this video, and it should also be in the chat for this event. So what you want to do is click the Team Builder button, and then the New Team. For format, you're going to want to do, you can search National Dex. We're going to do National Dex Draft. I think National Dex OU is also fine. I'm not quite sure what the difference is here. And you basically get to pick out 6 Pokemon for your team out of the ones that you've drafted. So you can take a look at the document to see which ones you have drafted already. And then basically those are your options. I'm going to pull mine up right here on my phone, just so I can give a good example. Alright, so you can make a different team for each different person. So let's say I want to go for this matchup Gliscor, and then I also want to bring Mega Sableye. Oh. I think for Megas you would just go their base form and then the Mega Stone for that. Now you can only use their Mega Stone if you drafted their Mega form. So that is if there's like a little M next to their name. So I'm just gonna throw together my team really quickly. Just a good little example team. And let's do Skarmory. Okay, so I have these all these Pokemon. These are my team. Let's say I have this team specifically to counter Zord's team. Now, I don't think it would, but this is just a hypothetical. So I would build this team specifically with Zord's team in mind. So let's say, do you get any fire moves? Yeah, let's say I want to run Fire Fang on my Gliscor specifically to deal with the Mega Skizor, which is 4 times weak to fire. Now that's some options. You can like go a little specific or niche with your move sets to counter your opponent. But since a lot of you don't know much about the game, I'm going to suggest using this button right here. So when you're going into the Pokemon options, you click the stats thing right here and the Smogon analysis. This opens up another tab. And then you want to click the National Dex right here. And then you can just copy move sets. So let's say I want to run a utility set for my Gliscor. I would just copy this. Or I could go down here and copy this one. Hang on. There we go. That should be fine. I don't want to show my tabs, and I had to do that real quick. There we go. And then I can press the import button here, paste it in here, and it already sets your IVs, so you don't have to worry about the special things here. If you want to go super specific, you can run calculations on certain websites against certain Pokemon, but that's a little complicated. I don't know if I'd recommend that. I mean, it's more optimal, but since most of you have never really played Pokemon, it's easier to just copy the Smogon sets. And since you're prepping for an opponent, you can take a look at their team and also look at the sets they might be running on their team. And then you can try and counter that. So maybe I'm prepared for Zord to bring Dragon Dance Gyarados to try and sweep. For Sableye, maybe I would run Do you have haze? No, you don't have haze. Dang, I was gonna say haze. Wait, do you have haze? Dang, yeah, maybe I could run Alluring Voice on my Alomomola to try and punish a Dragon Dance Gyarados sweep, because Alluring Voice makes the target confused if they have had a stat raise this turn. So if I bring in my Alomomola and Zord goes for a Dragon Dance and tries to do it again, I could then hit it with a Alluring Voice to try and punish it. So you kind of want to keep in mind different things, and for some of the lower tier ones that aren't as popular, like Ferroseed, for example, that was a 2-point pick. Ferroseed isn't usually going to be used in standard play, although it is still pretty solid. So you would click the Smogon analysis, and there is nothing. So if there is nothing for something like this, you would go with Sword and Shield, which is the most previous gen, and you would want to go with the highest rank, in this case PU. Don't go for Little Cup, because Little Cup is the small Pokemon only format, which would have yours set to level 5. Now, a lot of these sets are good, so if you want, like, let's say there's only the Little Cup available, then you could click that and just make sure you raise the level 5 to level 100. So I would click PU here and copy this set. And you can also just look at the roles that a Pokemon fits. Like, for example, Ferroseed has the ability Iron Barbs. That pairs really well with Rocky Helmet, which is actually what its ability Ferrothorn does a lot. It'll pair it with Rocky Helmet, so the Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet deal a lot of damage together when hit with a contact move. So that's like a general explanation of it. Remember to take a look at the rules while you're doing the team building. For example, Terra is banned. If I see you, Terra, it's you lose that match. So don't do that. Only reason I really banned it is because I think I haven't really done Gen 9 draft, and the whole Terra Captain system was confusing. Okay, bye bye.